Welcome back to Reds Fusion LFC, your home for the hottest Liverpool updates, breaking stories, and pure Red passion. Today's episode is absolutely explosive. From Steven Gerrard being linked as a shock replacement for Arne Slot, to Gary Neville firing tactical shots, Graeme Souness exposing what's gone wrong, and fresh noise about Xabi Alonso's possible return, the Liverpool world is on fire. Stay locked in, Reds, this one's massive. Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe to stay updated with every twist and turn in the transfer window.
Could Steven Gerrard replace Arne Slot? Honest Liverpool stance on taking hot-set Liverpool head coach? Arne Slot is under pressure, an iconic midfielder. Steven Gerrard has emerged as an option to replace him according to the bookmakers. Emile Heskey has previously said Steven Gerrard would require more experience to become Liverpool manager. The iconic Reds captain has emerged as a potential contender to succeed Arne Slot as head coach after the difficult run under the Dutchman continued. Gerrard has been out of the dugout since January, when he left Saudi Pro League side Aleppo. The 45-year-old has been listed as an outsider to replace the former Feyenoord manager after defeat to Nottingham Forest meant that the Premier League champions have lost 6 out of their last 7. The former Liverpool midfielder has previous top-flight experience in the hot seat after spending 11 months as Aston Villa head coach. Gerrard has long been tipped to take the reins in the management seat at Liverpool after immortalizing himself as an Anfield legend during his playing days. When asked last month whether Gerrard could still become Reds head coach in the future, Heskey admitted that his former teammate needs more experience. He said via BetBrain, "He needs more experience. He definitely needs more experience because you're going into the biggest job, or one of the biggest jobs in the world. The scrutiny of everything you do or say or what the players do comes back on you. He'll need a lot more experience to jump into that hot seat, to be honest. He'll get linked to jobs. He'll get asked to come in and interview for jobs. It's up to him what he actually wants to do," Heskey added. Would it be Premier League? I'm not sure, but teams abroad would love Steven Gerrard as their manager or first-team coach to take them to greater heights. I'm surprised he dropped out for the Rangers job, but we don't know the technicalities or ins and outs about what's been said and done. I think he's still got a future within coaching, but it's done to what he wants to do. Gerrard came close to returning to management in October when he spoke to Rangers chiefs over the possibility of replacing Russell Martin, but rejected the prospect of a return. The 45-year-old guided the Ibrox side to their only Scottish Premiership success since 2010, when he won the league title in 2021. Jurgen Klopp, who Slot replaced in 2024, previously tipped Gerrard to succeed him during an interview in 2019. When asked about his relationship with Liverpool icon Sir Kenny, the German said, "Kenny and Stevie have both been a really big support from day one. If Liverpool were to sack me tomorrow, then maybe Kenny would be the first choice to replace me, but they would probably bring Stevie down from Glasgow. If you ask who should follow me, I'd say Stevie. I help him whenever I can." Gary Neville urges Arne Slot to swap formation and start overlooked Liverpool star, drop your ego. Gary Neville has urged Arne Slot to change formation in a bid to salvage Liverpool's season after their 3-0 defeat to Nottingham Forest. Gary Neville has urged Arne Slot to ditch his favored 4-2-3-1 formation if he wants to reverse Liverpool's flailing fortunes. The Reds dropped to 11th in the Premier League table after falling to a heavy 3-2-0 defeat at home to struggling Nottingham Forest on Saturday. The reigning champions have now lost 6 of their last 7 matches in the English top flight and suffered defeat in 8 of their last 11 games in all competitions. Such a loss of form comes despite winning the Premier League title at a canter last season and then embarking on a 450-meter spending spree which saw them break the British transfer record twice to sign Florian Wirtz and Alexander Isak. But despite signing 8 new players, the majority of Liverpool's new recruits are yet to find form since moving to Anfield. Meanwhile, a number of Reds players have failed to recreate the levels that saw them win the Premier League last season, with the likes of Ibrahima Konate and Mohamed Salah finding themselves the subject of intense scrutiny in particular. And with Liverpool's loss to Forest reiterating their defensive frailties. Having now conceded 30 goals from their 19 games so far this season, Neville insists that Slot should change to a 4-4-2 setup and bring in Joe Gomez at right back in a bid to salvage the Reds' season. The manager has to change the style or the system and help them, he said on the Gary Neville podcast. It means being more solid in midfield and the back, and personnel changes. Milos Kerkez is struggling. Ibrahima Konate is struggling, so do you have to put 4 center-backs in your back 4 and keep a narrow, tight back 4 and tell everyone you mean business to keep clean sheets and stop teams having chances on your goal? Then in midfield, you put a narrow 4 in there. That could be Dominic Szoboszlai, Alexis McAllister, Ryan Gravenberch and Florian Wirtz or Cody Gakpo tucked in a bit more narrow, and you might leave Mo Salah off Hugo Ekitike or Alexander Isak or play Ekitike and Isak. Leave them up there. Work as a 2 and do something a bit different. It feels a bit basic, and I'm telling Arne Slot what to do, but I've seen world-class managers drop their ego on how we are going to play. Forget we're a great side and a great club. You're not as this moment. You're easily beatable, so have to do something different and pay teams respect and change. I called on it a few weeks ago. I said maybe Joe Gomez should play right back, Andy Robertson at left back, and play as a narrow back four. Be a bit more pragmatic. Something has to change in the collective in terms of how they are going to play. From an individual perspective, you have to strip it right back to the foundations. Whether that's sleep, stretching, eating, the tiny details, do everything better. Slot is a brilliant manager with real class, but he's got to reverse and do something different. Maybe make some difficult decisions. He's going to come under pressure. Let's not get too carried away with that. The players have to step up, or it will become a problem.
Graeme Souness on what's gone wrong for Arne Slot at Liverpool and Alexander Isak mystery. The Liverpool Echo chats exclusively to Liverpool legend Graeme Souness about his former club season so far, which took a major turn for the worse at the weekend. Arne Slot was conspicuous only by his absence at the Northwest Football Writers Association Awards on Sunday evening. The Liverpool boss was named as the Premier League's best for last season's title-winning term but was not present to collect the award at Manchester's Edwardian Radisson Hotel. It speaks to how quickly things have unraveled for Slot that the Reds head coach was given the honor while being knee-deep in crisis at Anfield. There was no official explanation given for his absence on the night itself, but a run of 8 defeats in the last 11 and 6 from the 7 in the Premier League might be the best place to begin the speculation. In place of Slot, club ambassador Gary McAllister was dispatched to accept the award on behalf of the Dutchman, who did not provide a thank you video unlike other absentees, and it was a wise move to sidestep an event celebrating last year's achievement the day after the nadir that was Saturday's dismal 3-0 defeat to a Nottingham Forest team who were in the relegation zone prior to kickoff on Merseyside. The problems are multiplying for the manager and his players right now. They are bereft of confidence, and quality has deserted so many of those who sauntered to the title last term with 4 games to spare. Some bookmakers have even made Slot the favorite to be the next Premier League manager sacked, and, while Fenway Sports Group have proven themselves as some of the more patient owners around, there are major question marks around how this has all turned around now. Liverpool have kept just 4 clean sheets since the title was confirmed as theirs in late April, and only rock-bottom Wolverhampton Wanderers' 41 is worse than the champions' tally of 39 goals conceded across Europe's top 5 leagues since May. The caveat there, of course, is that Slot and his players had already done the hard yards by winning the club's 20th championship against Tottenham Hotspur the previous month. But those halcyon days of spring seem a long time ago now, and how much insulation those days are affording Slot is very much open to debate. When your team are conceding goals, you automatically look at goalkeepers in your back four, Liverpool legend Graeme Souness tells the Echo. I was at the Community Shield at Wembley, the first day of the season, when they played Crystal Palace, and for me, they weren't right in midfield. People are saying that Dominic Szoboszlai has had a great start to the season with the ball, yes. But without the ball, I'm not sure with the transitions. Alexis Mac Allister and Ryan Gravenberch are good at that. In those 3 midfield players you have experience in winning the Premier League, and then you try and introduce Florian Wirtz into that, and I think he's playing catch-up. For the rest of the squad, they're conceding goals that they don't normally. Virgil van Dijk is now 34 and he made 2 mistakes in the Community Shield final. He was at fault for both goals just by being 6 inches too late. There is no doubt about it, at 34 the decline has started. He is still a wonderful player, but he will be on that slope, and the same with Mohamed Salah. That worries me. Saturday was Slot's 50th Premier League game in charge at Anfield, and the fact he has the best win rate of any Reds manager, having won 31 of those, yet finds himself still facing up to questions over his long-term ability to address the form, provides another snapshot of the sheer velocity at which the elite level now moves. Arne Slot's sack verdict delivered as Xabi Alonso Liverpool return addressed. Former Liverpool midfielder Igor Biscan believes Arne Slot remains safe as manager of the Premier League champions. Former Liverpool midfielder Igor Biscan has dismissed suggestions Arne Slot could be sacked as Anfield boss after a poor defense of their Premier League title. And the Champions League winner is convinced Alexander Isak can write a different story after a hugely disappointing start to his Reds career. Liverpool have seen their hopes of retaining the championship effectively ended by a dreadful spell of 6 defeats in 7 Premier League games that was extended by a dire 3-0 loss at home to lowly Nottingham Forest on Saturday afternoon. That run has intensified the scrutiny on Slot, with the Dutchman now third favourite to be the next Premier League boss to be sacked behind Daniel Farke of Leeds United and Fulham's Marco Silva. But Biscan believes Slot has already proven himself capable of handling difficult situations after succeeding Jurgen Klopp as boss 18 months ago. There is pressure, but for every manager at that level, there is always pressure, he said. I don't think his job is in question. Even if he doesn't win the league, just by doing what he did last year, after what happened before he arrived and how difficult his job was, it was exceptional. Everybody was saying it would be extremely difficult for him to really continue what Jurgen Klopp had done before him. He is a quality manager, and he deserves a lot of credit, and he needs time. There are so many new players, and you need time to make them work together. I'm really sure that they will start winning again very soon. Xabi Alonso was among those linked with replacing Klopp before Slot's appointment. And Biscan wouldn't be surprised if his former teammate returns to Anfield in the dugout in future years. Xabi Alonso as Liverpool manager? I think that's always a possibility if he keeps on doing what he's doing, and be successful and make a difference, he said. Whenever you watch his teams, they are doing so well, they have a clear structure, and the quality is always there. Who wouldn't want to have a manager like him? Isak has had a nightmare spell at Liverpool since arriving from Newcastle United for a British record £125 million in September, his struggles for fitness exacerbating poor form that has seen him score just once in 9 outings and prompted another early substitution at the weekend. But Biscan said, which team would not have wanted to sign Alexander Isak at the beginning of the season? I don't think there is any team, any manager, any set of fans who would say no, we don't like him. We don't believe that he will be good enough for our team. He's a special player. He's a top-class centre forward, like everybody knows. And yeah, he missed preseason, and then the lack of match fitness, sharpness, for sure, takes away a bit of your ability. Speaking to Boyle Sports, who offer the latest Premier League betting, Biscan added, but it's the same situation like what we said about Mo Salah and Virgil van Dijk, the quality is there. And there is for sure quality. It's always been there. It's just a matter of time before he starts scoring. It's just a matter of getting into the right rhythm, scoring some goals, and then again, a little bit of this momentum back. And the whole team needs that, and when this happens, then we will see a different story. Ex-Liverpool star received surprise Arne Slot request 24 hours after Forest game. Liverpool manager Arne Slot was named Northern Football Writers Association Manager of the Year for last season but chose not to attend the ceremony on Sunday. Gary McAllister was called upon to accept an award on behalf of Arne Slot on Sunday, while he was watching the Leeds United match against Aston Villa. Despite being honoured as the Northern Football Writers Association Manager of the Year for his work last season, Slot opted not to attend the ceremony. Instead, McAllister was sent at short notice to collect the award on behalf of the Dutchman. At the event, McAllister, who serves as a club ambassador for Liverpool, relayed Slot's apologies for his absence, along with a brief message from the 47-year-old expressing his extreme pride in receiving the accolade. This follows Slot's recent 3-0 defeat with Liverpool against Nottingham Forest on Saturday. The Reds returned to Premier League action at Anfield, hoping to turn around a poor run of form ahead of the 2-week international break. However, what ensued was further disappointment for the Premier League winning manager. Mourinho opened the scoring for the visitors in a tense encounter 33 minutes in, with his shot from the centre of the box scrutinised by VAR due to Dan Doy potentially blocking Alisson Becker's view whilst in an offside position. After thorough review, match officials determined that Ndoye had not obstructed the goalkeeper's view, and the goal stood. The Premier League Match Centre confirmed on X. The referee's call of goal was checked and confirmed by VAR, with it deemed that Ndoye was not in the line of vision of Alisson and did not make an action that impacted an opponent. Igor Jesus seemed to double the lead to 2-0 moments later, though his effort was ruled out due to a handball during the build-up. Forest wouldn't need to wait much longer to extend their advantage, though.